Welcome to this week's edition of Sports Buzz. On tonight's show, boys high school basketball sectionals have gotten underway. We'll take a closer look at how area teams fared.
Later on, Vincennes University's own Caitlin Killingbeck gives us a recap of how the finals for girls high school basketball ended.
Finally, both the men's and women's basketball regular season has finished for Vincennes University. We'll take a closer look at where both teams are headed next. We have these stories and more coming up on tonight's Sports Buzz. Welcome to Sports Buzz. I'm JJ Brown.
And I'm Alexander Green.
The IHSAA High School Boys Basketball Tournament got underway on Tuesday around the state of Indiana, and already there have been plenty of upsets, including one by Vincennes-Lincoln on Wednesday. Last night at the Class 3A sectional in Washington, despite entering the tourney at 5-18, the Alices got sweet revenge for a loss in December by beating the 13-10 Princeton Tigers 39-33. Joel Sanders and Raiden Benson had 13 points each for the Alices as well, and both made key plays in the fourth quarter to pull away from the Tigers. Lincoln led 22-13 at halftime before Princeton rallied to cut the lead to 2 entering the fourth. The Alices advanced to Friday night's semifinals. In the nightcap, despite a slow start, number 6 North Davies took control in the third quarter to pull away from Pike Central 48-32. Jalen Mullen led last year's Class A state champs with 19 points, and Logan Wilson added 14. The Cougars led only 9-7 after one quarter, but took a 10-point lead at halftime and led 38-21 after 3. North Davies takes on the Lincoln Alices at the Hatchet House tomorrow night at approximately 8 p.m. In Tuesday's action, Heritage Hills advanced by beating Southridge 42-37. The Patriots now move on to the semifinal round where they will play Washington. The Hatchets received a first-round bye. That game is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. Tip-off winners from Friday's games will play for the sectional title Saturday night.
Turning to the Class 2A sectional at North Knox, the host Warriors season came to an end Wednesday night, as Mitchell raced to a big lead and held off North Knox 59-45. Freshman Carson Goforth came off the bench to lead the Warriors with 12 points, and Mason Lyons and Kyson Parker added 8 each. The Blue Jackets led 43-27 after 3 quarters before North Knox made a run in the fourth to cut the deficit to 9. Seniors Mason Lyons, Devin Kent, and Landon Worstel played their final game for the Warriors. In the nightcap, top-ranked Linton had a little trouble in their sectional opener, breezing past Paoli 72-48. The underdog Rams remained within striking distance early, trailing by 7 after the first quarter, but the Miners took control in the second, outscoring Paoli 17-5 in the quarter to lead 35-16 at halftime. Linton's Nathan Frady shot perfectly from the field and scored a career-high 25 points. The top-ranked Miners will face Mitchell in the second game of the semifinals on Friday at roughly 7:30 p.m. The solo game on Tuesday was Sullivan's versus South Knox. Dakota Candler led the Spartans with 18 points, and Jackson Thomas added a career-high 11, as South Knox held off the Golden Arrows 47-35. The Spartans led 21-13 at halftime before the Arrows closed the gap to 3 to end the third quarter. However, South Knox outscored Sullivan 20-11 in the fourth to finish off the win. Head coach David Burkett says at this time of year, it's survive and advance, one step at a time.
Well, you're always happy about moving on to the tournament. I mean, it's what you work for all year. So these kids have been pretty successful, and it's nice to see them have some success in the tournament and have a chance to move on and play Saturday night, hopefully.
The Spartans advance to tomorrow night's semifinal, where they will face Eastern Green at 6 p.m. The Thunderbirds are 8-15 and were demolished by South Knox 66-33 on January 21st.
In the Class A sectional at Lagodi, the host Lions ended the Reveille Patriots season on Tuesday with an 88-30 victory. The Lions connected on 17 three-pointers in the contest. Reveille was led in scoring by Tommy Herman, who had 16. The Patriots finished the season 4-18. Seniors Tommy Herman and Curtis Shake played their last game for the Patriots. Isaac Eagle had 19 points for the Godi, who advances to Friday's semifinal against longtime nemesis Bar Eve. The Lions defeated the Vikings in Montgomery 44-36 on January 13th, and eventually won the Blue Chip Conference outright. On Wednesday night, Springs Valley dumped Washington Catholic 83-48. They will now play Orleans in the second semifinal game on Friday. The Bulldogs smashed Shoals 66-43. Third-rated Bulldogs picked up their 21st win of the season. Orleans and Springs Valley played during the regular season, with the Bulldogs winning 61-48.
The scores from area sectionals include at the Class A sectional at White River Valley. Last night, the host team was advanced by beating Duggar Union 44-32. In the second quarterfinal game, top-rated Bloomfield got by Clay City 65-52. In the semifinal matchups, North Central will take on Bloomington Lighthouse, who upset Shakamak on Tuesday 60-50, while the second game will be the Wolverines and the Cardinals. Sectional 64 at Wood Memorial has its semifinal set. Game 1 will be Tecumseh versus Evansville Christian, and Northeast Du Bois will play Evansville Day School. The Eagles trimmed the Trojans on a Luke Davis buzzer beater 48-46, while Day smashed Cannleton 89-34. At the Class 3A Boonville sectional, first night winners included Boonville and Evansville Mater Dei. Gibson Southern will play Boonville in the first Friday semifinal game, while Evansville Memorial takes on Mater Dei. At Evansville North, Central will play Wrights in the first semifinal game of this Class 4A sectional. The second game will be the host team, the Huskies, who will play Jasper.
In Illinois, the Lawrenceville Indians will play for a sectional championship Friday night. On Tuesday at the Class 2A sectional in Newton, Lawrenceville edged Greenville 73-64 in overtime. Bryant Jenkins had a game-high 34 points, 23 of those in the second half. Layden Sanders reached double figures in 17 points, and Leighton Ivers had 12 points and 9 rebounds. The Indians will face Teutopolis Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time, with the winner to advance to the Super Sectional at the Banterra Center at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale. Last Friday, the Indians took down Mount Carmel 51-32 for the program's first regional title since 2016. The game was close until the fourth quarter when Lawrenceville put the game away with an 18-5 run. Bryant Jenkins led the champs with 16 points, 13 of which came in the fourth quarter. It was the third meeting of the season between the Indians and Golden Aces, with Lawrenceville winning in the Capital Classic Thanksgiving weekend and Mount Carmel winning the LIC matchup in December.
The girls' basketball season wrapped up on Saturday with the crowning of 4 state champions. Caitlin Killingbeck has the results.
The day started off with the Class A final as top-rated Lanesville and 7th-rated Bethany Christian squared off. The Eagles had a dominating performance at Gamebridge Fieldhouse, downing the Bruins 60-41. It was the girls' first basketball state title for Lanesville. The Eagles' Lindsay Wernert was the winner of the Patricia Roy Mental Attitude for Class 1A. The morning session would conclude with the Class 2A championship. Forest Park won their second straight title by beating LaPel 38-37. In a tight contest, the Bulldogs had the final possession, but couldn't convert a three-pointer for the win. The Rangers' Amber Treader picked up the Roy Mental Attitude Award. In the Class 3A game, Fairfield picked up their first ever state championship by disposing Corydon Central 49-42. The Falcons boasted the top-ranked offense in the state. Bree Graber of Fairfield won the Class 3A Mental Attitude Award. Bedford North Lawrence won their 5th state title by beating Fishers in another tight contest, 46-42 in Class 4A. The Stars' Carson Newman won the Roy Mental Attitude Award. Congratulations to all of this year's state champions. For Sports Buzz, I'm Caitlin Killingbeck.
Vincennes University's men's basketball ended their regular season Tuesday night on a high note. The Trailblazers dropped Olney Central College 80-70 in the PE complex. The night started out by honoring the 6 graduating sophomores. They are Tassos Cook, Trenton Johnson, Devon White, Caleb Johnson, Shiloh Jackson, and manager Luke Weiss. After the celebration, VU got off to a slow start but was able to take a 20-14 lead midway through the first half. The Trailblazers grabbed complete control of the game out of the locker room, with VU opening the second half on a 17-5 run to take a 56-40 lead. Johnson led VU with 24 points, shooting 9 of 14 from the field. Head coach Todd Franklin was happy with how his team performed.
I thought it was a good basketball game. I thought we played very well for about 35 minutes, 36 minutes, and I thought when we got up 16, we let off the gas a little bit. We're just looking to get to the finish line some, but the first 35, 36 minutes, we're really good because that's a really good team we played. Extremely well coached, disciplined, tough, and I thought our team responded well.
Last weekend, VU lost only their 4th game of the season as they fell to Wabash Valley by a score of 82-77. Caleb Johnson and Chris King led the Blazers scoring attack with 19 points each.
The VU women's team fell in their regular season finale. They lost to 12th-rated Wabash Valley College by the score of 107-60. Cheryl Newsom placed the Blazers with 25 points and 4 assists. VU closed out their regular season at 19-10. On Monday, the Region 24 tournament draw was released. The tournament will be hosted by Lakeland College in Mattoon, Illinois. The Blazers are seeded second and will see their first action on Sunday against 7th-seeded All-Knee Central College. The two teams met twice during the regular season and split the series. Sunday's game will tip off at 4 p.m. Vincent's time. For the VU women to advance, Coach Meeks says they have to stick to the game plan.
We like to play fast, and we don't like a slow ball game. So it's going to be a benefit to us if we push the ball up and down the floor, if we do a good job defensively, and again, we will mix our defenses up like we've done all year. And, our girls understand that if we lose, we're done. So it gives a little more importance to the basketball game when you know that this could be your last game.
Wabash Valley is the top seed in the tournament, and they received a first-round bye. Winners from the quarterfinals will advance to the semifinal round to be played on Tuesday.
Vincennes University's baseball team's bats came alive on Sunday. The Trailblazers ended a 4-game losing streak with a 12-4 win over Morton College. The team combined for 12 hits and 11 RBIs, with Caden Elliott leading the way for VU. He went 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs and 1 run. The Trailblazers were also in action on Saturday with a doubleheader. In the morning game against Morton College, both teams started hot, but both Morton and VU put up 6 runs each in the first inning. The Trailblazers couldn't keep up with the Panthers as they scored 4 runs in the 6th. VU attempted a comeback but came up short, losing 10-7. The evening game was a heartbreaker as VU played Joliet Junior College. VU took the lead early 5-0 on an RBI single from Holden Clifton and RBI double from Brandon Juarez. Joliet then belted out 10 straight runs to take the lead for good. After this weekend, VU is now 4-8. They are back in action Saturday at home when they play Kellogg Community College at 5 p.m. And that's all for this edition of Sports Buzz. For everyone here at Vincennes University Broadcasting, I'm J.J. Brown.
And I'm McJenna Green. Sports Buzz will not air next week as Vincennes University will be on spring break. So join us again in 2 weeks.